We may not want to admit it, but some trends we need to leave in 2024. We need to leave them behind. They've had their moment. We need to let them rest. So let's talk about the spring summer trends that we need to leave behind, okay? We need to say goodbye to, and that, quite honestly, I'm a little relieved that we're saying goodbye to. Shameless self-plug, I already did an entire video on the spring summer trends, so I'll insert that above. Okay, it's a great video. Have a little watch. But I think what you'll see is a lot of them are not micro trends. A lot of them are trends that are very wearable and likely pieces that you already own in your collection. And it's interesting to see the shift in fashion, okay? We were once obsessed with these micro trends, and I think we're now shifting away from the micro trends. We're now shifting towards more pieces that we already own in our collection, how to elevate those, how to style them differently. It's just interesting to see the shift in fashion. But you know what else is interesting? The demise of the previous spring summer trends that need to go. Now let's get into this video. Now before I even begin, I feel like I need to address a little disclaimer. If you like these trends, if you love these trends, do not listen to me, okay? I'm just a woman on the internet expressing her own opinion. Wear what you want to wear, and if it is these trends, continue on doing so, okay? Don't listen to me. This is just simply my own opinion, a little bit of research, okay? Because we like the facts. I'm gonna start off with the worst trend, the trend that I still puzzled to this day of how we even got to this point, but alas, we did. The no pants underwear, okay? Basically just wearing underwear on the street. This was most famously, notoriously done by Miu Miu. The first collection, I think we were just seeing, you know, standard underwear. Then the second collection, we were seeing almost like boat underwear, more swim trunks. I don't know why I said boat. It's definitely more of like a swim trunk. I don't need to be seeing a Speedo walking down the street. You know, I think there's a time and place for a Speedo, and down the street is just not one of it. And then I recall after the Speedo was the sequin one, and that I'm still puzzled by, because I don't know about you, but I don't want sequins down there. I think that would be I'm not even gonna go down that route, you know? You get the gist. The sequin one was definitely girls' night out, more maybe of a New Year's type of vibe. I remember that being very popular in 2023 New Year's around that time. Now, there's always a live and we learn moment. At the time, we can really love a trend, and of course, everyone has been there, done that, and then come maybe a year's time, we question why the hell we ever did love that trend. We look back and we're like, what on earth were we thinking? We've all been there, done that. And I do think that this is one of those trends that we are going to look back on and be like, what were we doing? I mean, it's only been 2 years, and I don't know about you, but I'm puzzled, okay? Imagine us in 10 years from now. The only saving grace of this trend is that collectively as a whole, the people came together and were like, what on earth is this? You know, this is not doable for everyday life. We're not going to be walking down the streets in our underwear, and collectively I think we all understood that. Go society, okay? We all knew what was up. And that's probably the only time in history that we as a society have ever been so close. Look at us go. No, but in all seriousness, that trend needed to go. I mean, the second that it came off the runway, it needed to go. Now, there has been a shift of the less maybe underwear and more of the hot pants. The hot pants are just a slightly bit longer. They're more of like a short, and less of a, you know, more of an underwear. So I mean, that's growth, you know, that's improvement. We're doing less of the underwear and more of the hot pant, a slightly longer version of the underwear. Now you see that I can get behind, but again, even that, I just feel like we're gonna look back and be like, what were we thinking? Because just go with the skirt, just go with a short, you know, why are we going down the hot pant lane? So essentially in 2025, we replaced the underwear for the hot pant. Are we where we should be as a society? That is questionable, but we're improving. The next one I am a victim of, and honestly, I still do like it. It is the denim midi or maxi skirt. The maxi skirt was an absolute no-no for me. The maxi skirt to me is just giving it a little bit too countryside, and I'm a city gal, okay? I don't know what to tell you. But I do own 2 denim midi skirts. I still have them. I have the white wash, so the white wash jean, and then I have a light blue wash. Now, weirdly enough, I think I can still get behind the white denim version, but the light blue version I just think is a little bit outside of what I would wear now. And I was very much into this trend. I really did like it. I don't think I'm going to get rid of those midi skirts anytime soon, because I do think I would still definitely wear the white one. I have a photo of me wearing the white one with a pair of black leather knee-high boots. I actually still really like that outfit. But you know what? When it came to the denim maxi skirt, no, I drew the line. I drew the line. It's too much denim. That's exactly what it is. There's just too much denim. I'm like walking around like a denim umbrella. And at that rate, it's heavy, it's thick, you know, and it's just too much. Do I think we're gonna look back on this trend and be like, what were we thinking? Not really, not quite. You know, it's still a very practical trend. At the end of the day, it's denim. we will always have denim. Denim is absolutely not going anywhere. However, let's talk about the hem length of those skirts. So I've seen a lot of discourse over the past couple months about how fashion really can indicate a recession, which is true. I mean, we've seen this time and time again. This is not something new. We've seen this over the course of many, many years. But a lot of the hem lengths that we are going to see in the spring, summer 25 months are midi skirts, if not also maxi skirts. We're going to see a lot less of the mini skirt and a lot more of the longer version of the skirts, which is also an indication of a recession. Not that I plan on scaring you all in this video, just a random thought I had, but it's interesting to see how fashion progresses, but also not quite. Like, I still feel like we're kind of very much in the 2023, 2024 fashion trends, and a lot of it really hasn't changed that much. The next one boils my blood. Okay, the next one, I'm not gonna say they're jelly shoes, because they're not, but I feel like the row tried to resurge the jelly shoe. And did it work? Yes, unfortunately it did. The mesh plastic shoe is what I'm talking about. Now, the row made this shoe, and then eventually people were realizing that they were all breaking, as a plastic shoe would do. Last year we saw a lot of the mesh shoes, specifically from Alaya. Christopher Esper had this scuba diving mesh shoe. That one was hard to see, hard to look at, especially when it had the crystals. I can understand why people like this shoe. It's very free, it's very airy, but almost a little bit too free and airy, okay? I mean, what's keeping your shoe engulfed? The plastic one is what did me in, and I understand a lot of these trends are supposed to bring out a little bit of nostalgia, okay? Nostalgia sells. I don't know about you, but jelly shoes were part of my childhood, okay? I think I owned a couple pairs of jelly shoes, and I remember the blisters, okay? I was a child, and I remember the blisters. No way am I going to redo that as an adult. Do I think that we are going to still see the mesh shoe in the spring summer months of this year? Yes, I do, because there's no way that that shoe was so popular last month or last year, and it's not gonna have its very rise in popularity this spring summer. No way. I think we're going to look at this shoe the same way that we look at jelly shoes, okay? Like, wow, that was a time to be alive. The blisters I gave. Except now we're gonna look at that shoe and be like, wow, the row was charging how much for a jelly shoe? That I think we're gonna look a little bit differently on than the, you know, $14 jelly shoe that we bought as a kid. Let me know in the comments below how you think about these jelly shoes. I mean, these jelly shoes I feel like live rent free in the back of my mind, horrifying me every day. This whole conversation is really getting me going because, I mean, my god, some of these pieces are just, what were we thinking? The next trend that we are definitely seeing a lot less of, and it's very prevalent, is cargo skirts and cargo pants. I'm gonna put them in the same category because, you know, two and two together, same thing. The cargo, almost parachute skirt definitely had their moment. Same with the cargo pants, and honestly, I still do like cargo pants. I own quite a few of them, which I do plan on wearing in the spring summer months. I still personally like them, which is a good example because if you do like it, continue on wearing it. Now, the reason why I say cargo pants and cargo skirts are definitely going to have their decline is merely because we did not see it, if not at all, during the spring summer 25 shows. It was very prevalent that cargo was dead. And I don't know about you, but when I see a trend excessively, I get bored of it real quick. I don't want to partake. I almost get an ick. I just don't want to see it anymore. Unless I truly love it, then I'm, you know, here for it. I want to see it everywhere. And I think the reason that we are going to see a demise in the cargo skirts and pants is because we saw so much of it. Barbiecore. Oh my lord, did we see a lot of Barbiecore. Obviously, we have the Barbie movie to thank for that. I feel like during that year when Barbie was coming out, when Barbie did come out, we saw pink absolutely everywhere. Valentino, I think it was spring summer 24 collection or 23, we saw only pink, only this one hot pink, Valentino pink. So it was very crystal clear obvious that pink was definitely dominating the colors that year. Do I even have to discuss it more? But like I was saying before about how when you see a trend so much, you have the potential to get tired of it. The same thing applies to color. Color, I think, is a little bit different than a trend that maybe a trend only applies to a couple people. Color can apply to just about everyone. You know, everyone can see that color, everyone can resonate with the color, how they choose. And just like how we have spring summer trends, we also have spring summer trendy colors. And when we see a trendy color so much, like a vibrant hot pink Barbiecore color, there is a huge potential for us to get tired of it. Like, I don't know about you, but I have a Valentino pink engraved into my brain, which is also great for the brand, except for Valentino has gone a totally different approach now. So that being said, there's only so much vibrant hot pink that I feel like we can take. Unless you are a diehard fan of pink and hot pink, then by all means, you know what, go off. Wear hot pink down to the toes, to the hat, okay? We love that for you. It was only a matter of time until Barbiecore had its demise, because there's no way that we can forever live our lives wearing Barbiecore. You know, that was just a trend that we all saw coming to an end. It's funny because I actually read an article about how the French want to get rid of the word core because it is too English. Barbiecore, mermaid core, cottage core. The core is an English way of expressing the style, and basically the French are not happy about that. But it's true. I mean, we now think of a style as a core, and it's funny how that has also really trended on TikTok, social media. We now think of a genre of style as a core. You know, it could be punk core, cottage core. At the end of the day, it's a style, it's a preference, and yet we've just now added a core to it because that's trendy and that's what's in. Anyways, going off topic there. The last one may trigger you a little bit because it triggers me, okay? And it's less of a piece of clothing and more of a style, a genre of clothing. And that is the old money, quiet luxury aesthetic. Enough is enough. We have had it with your old money aesthetic, okay? Give us some personality, give us some maximalism, okay? And I think that's what the people really want, which is something that we are going to see a lot of this year. We are going to see people actually want to express themselves, express who they actually are, bag charms, okay? That's a great indication of being a personalization. The whole idea of trying to look rich without being rich, of looking like you are fresh out of the Loro Piana store. Enough is enough. This style I think has been cooking for about 2 years, I want to say, and I really think it started with Sophia Richie-Grange and Gwyneth Paltrow. When she came out of that core office, she was wearing all quiet luxury brands, okay? She was the richest one there without even looking like she was the richest one there. The rich don't wear loud logos. The rich only wear neutral colors. The rich only wear Loro Piana and the Row. Lake Como, Monte Carlo, the south of France. Anywhere else is just not quiet luxury, okay? But the fact is that when everybody is trying to give off this persona that they are this quiet luxury, old money aesthetic, it becomes a little stale. We look like we're all the same people at the end of the day. What happened to loud luxury, okay? Give us some extra, okay? Give us maximalism. And I honestly am one to talk because I definitely do love my neutrals. I love a tailored suit. I love just a quiet outfit. When Sophia Richie-Grange was getting married, we were so influenced by Sophia Richie at the time. I remember it vividly. Like when she was getting married at Eden Rock, oh my god, with all the flowers, it was like everyone was influenced, everyone had googly eyes. Then the Row also became very popular, and the Row is pro, you know, old money, quiet luxury. There's not a single logo on that. You would never know it's the Row unless you look at the tag. I am not out here hating on a classic no logo style, by all means, okay? I also enjoy that too. I just think that the word, the phrasing of how we are explaining the style, old money, quiet luxury, how many times am I going to say that in this video, needs to die, okay? It needs to be put to bed, and honestly never brought up ever again. I hope this video wasn't all over the place. It's a little bit of a rant, a little bit more of a casual video, but let me know in the comments below how you feel about some of these trends, or about the trends that maybe I have missed that you also want to see, but be put to bed, be put to rest, never to be awoken. All right guys, with all that being said, I'm gonna wrap up this video here. I'm gonna leave a video in case you want to watch something else, and as always, I hope you have the utmost fabulous day. Bye guys.